Thank you for tuning into the Faceless podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. You can call me whatever you like, as long as it's not Oi. There's a big possibility we're gonna get along. Now, I am trying to work on this consistency. I can't even lie. I'm trying to work on this consistency. I'm trying to be consistently more consistent, just to get my thoughts out there. But do you know what happens? You see, sometimes you get the good thoughts, and you're thinking that people need to hear this, and you're at work. By the time you get home, the sun's gone down. It's winter in the UK now, so yeah. But I'm trying though. I'm trying to write it down so that I could come back to you and tell you this is what I was thinking. Now you're gonna have to bear with me. Still, it's a new start. But look, new chair. I got the new. I'm comfortable. We could be here for. I don't, look, Lord knows how long we could be here for. But yeah, no. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the feedback on the comeback episode. We've got a bad cough, by the way, so excuse me. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try my best not to cough into the mic, but this is why we got this. Don't ask me what's in the cup. This feels a little bit better. Yeah, thank you for everyone that watched first and foremost. If you can stand to listen to me speak for an hour and 15 minutes, there's something better coming in your life. We thank God for your existence. But thank you for everyone that tuned in. Thank you for all the comments, all the feedback. I say all the comments. Do you know what's funny? If you actually look at the videos, you won't see that many comments. But people were messaging me saying, look, I've seen it, or what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. First, let me just get this out of the way. You see this background? You see this background right here? It's crinkle cut. When we get subscribers, when we get the things going that we need to get going, then I'm gonna buy an iron. Then I'm gonna iron it. But until now, this is a representation of the world right now. The world right now is crinkle cut. So I know what you're gonna say. I need to get a new background. I need to iron the background. I need to buy a steamer. But that's how we're living. We're living in a crinkle cut world, so the background is crinkle cut. Now, when things get better, the background will get better. That's not a promise, but a boy can dream. A boy can definitely dream. All of that to say, I really appreciate all the feedback from the people that were watching. I really appreciate just the constructive feedback, even the feedback that wasn't as constructive, but just to know people are watching. I appreciate it, and we're gonna keep on going. Like I said, I'm trying my best to be more consistent with it as well. But what do I want to talk about today? So, because I've been thinking about this as well, because the thing is, I don't want to just sit down and just waste an hour of your time for the sake of wasting an hour of your time. I actually want to share my thoughts, and talk about something that might actually be meaningful to one or two people. So, I mean, I've been thinking, and I was thinking, what do we talk about? Because in the UK politically at the moment, there's a lot going on, but there's not really a lot going on. In America, there is a lot going on. I'm making an active decision to maybe sway slightly less from the American side, because I love my American people. I love anyone watching from America, um, and keep on watching. I just want to deliver more UK content as well, but is relevant. American content is relevant to UK because we're basically a state of. Do you know what's mad? The UK. How did you let this happen? How did you let your son become the parent? How? That's a story for another day. Um, Now, I was thinking that because I've been having a lot of interesting conversations with a lot of people, to be fair, and there is one underlying, can I say scheme? That's not the right. It's not battle rap. There's kind of one tone, that underlying tone, which is everyone that I've seen, right, left, center, agrees that we've lost our country. Like, and when I say our country, I'm talking about the UK. I live in the UK, British citizen. Now, the Pan Africanist, you could go somewhere else. There's another clip for you to watch. Got Uma Johnson is still collecting money to open his school, so go over there because I know where I was born. I know where I'm from. Like, I've spent most of my time in the UK. I'm British. I'm Zimbabwean. deal with it. That's what it is. I get to be both. I get to be 200%. How about that? I get to be 200%. So that's how we're living. That's what we're doing. Now, so I won't shy or hide from saying our country because I work here, I live here, I pay taxes here. It's my country. Now, people are that's the common tone or theme was the word that I was looking for is the country. We've lost our country now. People differ and they vary as to why they say we've lost our country, but everyone seems to agree that in one way or another we've lost our country. Now, some people are crazier than others, and some people make a lot more sense than others. And I was thinking with that as well. There's a book that I highly recommend, even though I haven't fully read it myself. I have read enough of it to highly recommend it. It's called The Naked Communist. And anyone that knows me, I've probably mentioned this book at some point. And who's the author? Who's the author? Um, it is no. Cue the memes. Cleon Skousen. I think that's how you pronounce his name. This book was written, when was this? 58 years ago, 60 years ago. And it was an infiltration by an FBI agent into the American Communist Party, into what the plans were, and when was it? Yeah, about 50, 58, 59, between 58 to 60 years ago, and talking about what the communist agenda was, and what they want to implement into America. Now, even though it's going to seem like I'm talking about America a lot, this is the challenge that I've got for anyone listening, or that anyone who comes across this, that compare this to what you've experienced and what you've seen in your life, and tell me that we've not lost our country. So what I'm looking to do, there's 45 kind of laws, or not 45 laws of power, but there's 45 laws. You could call them targets. You could call them an it's an instruction manual. That's what it is. And this is kind of the summary of what the communists wanted to do to effectively infiltrate America. And I'm sure that the way this reads, you see the parallels and you see why that feeling that everyone's got, that like, I don't recognize this country no more. We've lost the country. Like you'll see it, and let me see. Would it actually let me do this? And I've got this. Like I've got the condensed version from. Shout out to Derek Crane on this Substack. He's actually said, you know what? Let me put it all down in the list. So let me see if I've got better at this presenting. Let me see if I've got better at this. So um yeah. So what's it telling me? It's telling me some things out here. Um Yeah, that's it. What? Can you guys see that? You can see that. You can see that. Okay. Sometimes it's small things. Because last time I tried to do it and I had to bail out, I started it out. I don't know if you noticed it. Just put in the comments. I noticed it. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. So yeah, this is Derek Substack. So shout out to him. I'm going to be using this. So um already you can see like what's going on here. If we look at, like, I want to talk through these now. I don't know how long this is going to take me. Like, it's look, there's 45 of them, but I want to talk through these and actually you're going to realize what's happening. So let's give him some love, Derek Crane. And look, this was published recently as well, very very recently. Now if we look at it from the beginning, so what have you been seeing? What have you been seeing since, let's say the last 10 years? So obviously it says the US's acceptance of coexistence as the only alternative to atomic war. Now, some of the phraseology might be a little bit different, but let's look at the UK, let's look at the US. What have we been getting told. Like, and I'm talking about my own experience and what I've seen as well. So this whole diversity is our strength. Hmm. And when they say diversity, they don't mean diversity of thought. Obviously, this is the Faceless podcast where your mind matters. Diversity of thought is what we're pushing over here, guys. So they don't mean diversity of thought. They mean diversity as in coexistence, as in just get everyone from everywhere, anywhere, put them in the same house. The way this that the fear mongering and they're trying to say, um, like that's the only way to avoid. And you see, when we say atomic war, now just replace that with the end of the world. Now, I'm not saying just replace that so that my point looks like it makes sense. That's effectively what atomic war is, and that's what we're leading to. Now, you could call it nuclear war, you could call it World War Three, you could call it World War Z, you could call it the I don't know what you want to call it, whatever makes you sleep at night or helps you sleep at night. That's what we're talking about. So, first and foremost, number one, like just accept anything or anything, accept everyone and everyone. Now, I do accept everyone. No, actually, I don't. That's a lie. That is a lie. I don't accept everyone. I'm gonna stop because do you know what that was? I just caught myself there. That was the political correctness in me that has been put into me by the corporate world for working in recruitment for 7 years. When you have to caveat everything, oh yeah, but I accept I do not accept everyone. You're a rapist. I don't accept you. If I don't accept you, so I don't accept everyone. Now I'll pray for you, and I hope you repent, and I hope I see you in heaven. But I don't I still love the sinner, don't get me wrong. I'm Christian. I love the sinner, but I hate the sin. But I'm a sinner myself. So feel free to do the same back to me. Now, that whole acceptance of coexistence is the only alternative to atomic war. Basically, what they're saying is threatening you, saying, look, if you don't just accept anyone and everyone that wants to come here, whether it's legally, whether it's illegally, whether it's, I don't know, those are the only two ways really that they have to just be here. Otherwise, the alternative is World War Three. And now this atomic war, World War Three, end of the world, it shifts. And what I'm seeing in the UK is that is otherwise we're racist. Otherwise, we've not paid. And when I say we, I'm talking the royal we as in collectively as the UK. Otherwise, we've not paid for our previous sins. And I see that happening a lot. Now, that is definitely happening in America. That Kamala Harris. Um, I was about to say something which is so dumb, but you see, sometimes my brain is just dumb. So I'm gonna say it, but in quotation marks. I was about to say Kamala ma ding dong. I don't know why that popped in my head. I don't know why that popped into my head, but do you know what it is? I'm trying to be honest with everyone now. That's what popped into my head. I said Kamala Harris, but my brain went Kamala Ding Dong. I don't know why. I don't know why I find it so funny. That's what my brain said. Now, yeah. So if you look at it, let's look at the UK. This on like it's actually if I wasn't in the UK right now, if I wasn't a UK citizen and I wanted to be in the UK. Like, let's say even if I wanted to visit, I want to see Buckingham Palace. I want to see Stonehenge. I want to see uh, what else is there to see? Croydon, obviously, big spectacle. I want to see New Addington. Hey, I want to see Shirley. I want to see West Croydon bus station. I want to see where else can we see? There's a lot of things to see. There's a lot of things. I said the best parts. Apart, no, Shirley's better than Addington, but beef me over. I don't care. Um, I said the best parts of the UK. For those that know those parts, we don't agree. But let's say you just want to come visit. You want to see King Charles. How big are his hands? You just want to see it for yourself. You want to see, or whatever you want to see. It's actually easier for you to do rubber dinghy rapids from France than it is for you to apply for a visa. Now that's crazy. And everyone's meant to be okay with it because the alternative is, oh, you're racist, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. Now That actually that links into point two. That every time it says US, this counts for US UK. That this is the this is the actual point. This wasn't written yesterday. This was written 60 years ago. So the US's willingness to capitulate in preference to engage in an atomic war. So basically, just capitulate, literally. And this is what they want to push. So anyone and do you know where you can see this? How many rainbow flags did you see in Oxford Circus in 2008 or 2007? How many do you see today? Now, that's not an indictment on anyone, it's just an observation. Um, in 2008, there was two genders. 2005, there was two genders. How many is there now? In 2005, I'm never going that far back. What else was there? Speech. Did it exist? Now, I want you to think about this, like actual think, like close your eyes, listen to the sound of my voice. Open your eyes because I want you to read what's on the screen. But close your eyes, listen to the sound of my voice, and think, what have we actually stood up for as a country? Throw this in the bin. What have we actually stood up for as a country, or have we just capitulated? Any idea from the left that has come in, have we just capitulated? Now that applies for the US as well. The only thing versus Wade is the only thing that's been reversed, really. And actually, in a lot of American states, the gun legislation is better than what it would have been 60 years ago. Now, capitulation. When this was written, guns were legal in the UK. Capitulation. Now, third point, develop the illusion that total disarmament by the US states would be a demonstration of moral strength. Capitulation. Do you hear what they said? Develop the illusion. Now, what do you see? And this is in the UK as well. In the UK, it's been and done. It's been and done. Now we think like in the UK, we actually think we're better than America because we can't legally own firearms. Does that make sense in your head? Like right now, you see right now as I'm recording this, if a criminal, because what people don't understand, this is let me put you onto like your mind's gonna be blown when you hear this. Criminals have already decided they're not gonna follow the law. What a revelation. So when Mr. Criminal, Mrs. Criminal, equal opportunities out here, this is criminal. That didn't work. That did not work. They be criminal, breaks into my house right now with a firearm because they've al- they've already decided they're not gonna follow the law. I can't do anything about that. But I feel like I'm the better person. Mm. I had to cough out that delusion, excuse me. They're trying to push that in America. Luckily, America standing up for himself. But the only reason this has not been passed in America is because of that Second Amendment. And that is so important. That Second Amendment is the only thing that's stopping um America from being the UK, basically, where the UK is at the moment. That is the only thing that's stopping them. We actually think in the UK, we actually think we're better than better, man, because you can't have a taser, you can't have pepper spray. So there's the delusion that let's go back to it because I don't think you're actually reading what it says. Develop, develop the illusion that total disarmament, ignore this little bit, is a demonstration of moral strength. Now, you see this moral strength piece, this feeds into virtue signaling as well, virtue signaling. This feeds into that. So we're living in a world where I'm thinking, yes, I'm Mr. High and Mighty because I can't defend myself. But morally, I'm a better person. This was written 60 years ago. Like, I'm not telling you about something that was written this morning. Like, because if it was written this morning, you would have went, "Oh, of course." Like, this is the world we're living in now. Permit. Oh, sorry about that. I told you I'm both Zimbabwean and British, so sometimes the fact permit fair. I can't even read now. I've lost it. I've lost the plot. I've absolutely lost the plot. Permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliation and regardless of whether or not items will be used for war. Now, with this one, this is one I want to break down. So, this is the Communist Party that is writing this. They're saying permit free trade across all nations, open the borders, open the trade. Now, that looks like it's a good thing on the face of it until we hit this little word here. You see this little word here? Regardless. On a side note, it really, really annoys me when people say irregardless, regardless of communist and affiliation. This is saying, look, open up anyone and anyone, buy yourself from anyone, regardless whether or not those items could be used for war. Now it looks good on. Now, I'm a free market enterprise. I don't even like using the word communist because of Mr. Karl Marx. Now, I like the free market enterprise I'm with. But remember, with the communist affiliation, that the reason they want to do that is because you see, with the free trade, what else are you selling? Influence, culture. This is why there was Black Lives Matter protests in the UK, even though the guy that died. They ask next time you. Okay, this is another challenge for you guys. Next time you see someone that was at a BLM march, ask them to point to you the state in which George Floyd lost his life. Because you see, if this permit free trade between all nations, regardless, it's to export that culture, export that influence. You see, right now, hip hop in every country. You could take my grandma. No, okay, let me not lie on my grandma, R.I.P. But someone's grandma in a village in Zim, Kumashingo, is listening to 50 Cent. They know about 50 Cent. How did he get there? They've never been in a plane. How did he get there? So do you see how that it seems like a good thing on the face of it? And don't get me wrong, free market enterprise is the best way for the world to be. 99% of our problems would stop if it's just free market enterprise, no government involvement. It would stop. And I'm not an anarchist. I can't speak today, guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me. But it would stop. So, but it's this regardless. And why would they include that? Whether or not those items could be used for. Interesting. Now, have we seen this take place? Of course. Of course. Now, this extensions of long-term loans to Russia, Soviet states. This one, I'll be honest, this was too esoteric. This is too specific to what to 60 years ago. But them man were besties. They were besties until it was inconvenient. But again, you see what this is, this number five. Because Russia and the Soviet states were already implementing communism. socially, they was already implementing it. So it's almost like you're paying your tithes. Like, and because remember, this is mm, anti-communist America. They're paying the tithes to what they want to be. And you see, like, look at where we're going now. Provide American aid. Now, American aid, everywhere you see an American, put UK too, because we're there. Provide American aid to all nations, regardless of communist denomination. So this is, remember, this is the communist. They're saying, look, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do this regardless of whether you agree with us or not. Now, it seems like a good thing, but again, what is the aim of what are they trying to get into your brain? Grant recognition of Red China admission. Grant no, grant recognition of Red China, admission of Red China into the UN. Mm. Now this one set up East and West Germany as separate states, like all of that stuff. Because you see this name, I did it even Khrushchev. I think I pronounced that right. But if we're reading it, set up East and West Germany as separate states in spite of Khrushchev's promise in 1955 to settle the German question by free elections under supervision of the UN. You see where they tried to get you? Because I was reading that myself when I was going, hang on a minute, that don't seem that bad here under the supervision of the UN. And that will make sense in a minute. That will make sense. So remember that. I'm not going to dissect the bond just yet. Now, prolong the what? Okay, prolong the conferences to ban atomic tests because the States has agreed to suspend tests as long as negotiations are in progress. Excuse me. So yeah, that's just stalling. Let's just stall. Let's move on that. That is specific to the United States. And again, this was written 60 years ago, so some of it is going to seem outdated. But work with me. Allow all Soviet Union satellites individual representation in the UN. So let's get communists in the UN. Hold on to that. Here we go. Here we go. You were thinking, what's he going? UN, he's dodged the fee. Oh, what did Trump say on the Flagrant podcast? Swerve. Did he say swerve? Yeah, I think he said swerve. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, here we are. Number 11. Number 11. Promote the UN, the United Nations, as the only hope for mankind. If its charter is rewritten, demand that it be set up as a one world government with its own independent armed forces. Some communist leaders believe the world can be taken over easily by the UN. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Sometimes, as by Moscow, sometimes these two centers compete with each other as they are now doing in Congo. Do you know when this was written? This wasn't written yesterday. This was not authored yesterday. This article, shout out to Derek. This article was written in, was it March? When was this written? Or April, 25th of April. It was written. But this was written in, what does this say? What year is that? 1963. 1963, we're looking at. That's the year we're looking at. 1963. Promote the UN as the only hope for mankind. If its charter is rewritten, demand that it be set up as a one world government with its own independent armed forces. Now you see when you're looking at this, when you're looking at this under UN supervision, when you're looking at this China into the UN, This is why. This is what they were trying to achieve. Now, what do you think of the UN? What do you know about the UN? If you was to think about it, now I'm talking to you directly in your face, in your eyes. If you think about the UN now, whether you know loads about it, you don't know much about it, what is your impression of the UN? Do you think that they've not done this? Because I won't lie to you, that until I started to learn a few things, do you know when did I realize this? Or this is when the penny finally dropped. When they made, was it Saudi Arabia, Iran, one of them countries, the ambassador for female rights. When in that country, the women weren't allowed to go to school or drive or leave without a chaperone. That was the UN. Resist any attempts to outlaw the Communist Party. Now you see when you see Communist Party, I want you to actually realize sometimes they change their names. Obviously, they're still Communist Party. The left. Just think of the left. Think of your Labours. Think of your Democrat Party. Think of your Lib Dems. Even 2024 Tories, they'll fall underneath this as well, to a certain extent. So obviously, resisting the attempt, this comes from the communists, this is self-explanatory, makes sense. Ooh, what do we have here? What do we have? Do away with loyalty oaths. Where have we been seeing this? In America, they're starting to stop the Pledge of Allegiance. Um, Swearing on the Bible is going. Um, in the UK, singing the national anthem on sports events. How do we have the man? This is hurting my back. Just thinking of this is hurting my back. How the football manager of the England national team did not sing the national anthem, and well done. Like doing away with loyalty oaths. Because there's only one thing to be communist to in a communist. There's only one thing to be loyal to in a communist regime. Regime. Continue giving Russia access to the U.S. patent office. Now, again, this was 60 years ago, but if you think about it, it's like, look, here you can substitute that with China. They don't even have IP, intellectual property. But they're saying, look, we're going to give them the access because they know that we give them the access, they're going to, because you see, in the UK and the US, there's laws, there's regulations, whether you believe in them or not, whether you agree with them or not. Now, in Russia, China, it's anything I want. So the most corrupt, but this is why they're so technologically advanced because they will, to see if your headphones are better, they will put you in a room and put them on full blast till your ears bleed. Whereas in the UK, US, you're not allowed to do that. Now, that's where we're going with this one. So continue giving them access to the bright ideas that are coming out of the UK, coming out of the US, continue to give them access so that they can then do whatever they're doing. And then those things will either be sold to you or used against you. Use technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming that activities violate civil rights. Have we not seen this? Have we not seen this? A few months ago, the riots, Facebook posts. Now, even when you say weaken the institutions, a few years ago, there was a nurse who lost a job for wearing a cross or offering to pray for a patient. Making it feel like being Christian is wrong. Making it feel like this is where political correctness comes from. What's his name? Is it Konstantin Kisin from Trigonometry? when I was watching it, and the term political correctness is actually not a Western term. It's from the Soviet Union. It's from communists. So this is where political correctness comes from, because now you see all these technical decisions that they're using the courts. They're weakening the institutions which actually built America. They're weakening the institutions that built the UK. Remember what I said at the start? Like, can't you see this happening? Can't you see this in your life today? Like, how many, like, all these technical decisions weakening the institutions, and by institutions I mean your churches, your schools, um, even your social clubs, your uh, anything that you can look at and go, this is what made us us. This is what made Britain Britain. Now they want that weakened because they don't want it to be a pillar. Because again, in communism, there's only one God, and that's the dictator. That's the communist. That's the person at the top of the hierarchy. And here, look at this wording. By claiming those activities or their activities violate civil rights. So they make you a bad person. Basically, you're violating someone's civil rights, but by claiming. So technically, so manipulate the law so that you could claim that someone's been a bad person, so that behavior should be shunned. Tell me you're not seeing this. We're only on 16. I might not even get through. I might not even get through 45. What's this one? 17. To all the parents, get control of the schools, use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda, soften the curriculum, get control of the teachers' associations, put the party line in textbooks. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble. I don't think he looks right. I don't think he let me zoom in. Get control of the schools, use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum, get control of teachers' associations, put the party line in textbooks. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say anything else? Look at your life right now, because this it goes back to the question, because this is what set me down this little path. How have we lost our country? Because that theme is common amongst everyone, regardless of what you believe in. Let's read it one more time for the people in the back, or for the people that are hard of hearing. Get control of the schools. I saw this coming even from when I was in school because I saw the shift. But by that point, obviously, I could tell you about the shift that I saw and where it took us. But this is 60 years ago. This was written. I saw the shift from when I was in school. I went in school 60 years ago. I was in school 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And anyone who went to school around about the same time I am. I'm 31, so around about the same time I am. We saw this. That everything that if you talk about socialism, if you know about socialism, we saw this, that it was propaganda, like and it says the current. So as it changes, rainbow flags in the school. Now, this is not me disparaging anyone who's a part of that lifestyle. You go do you. But in the schools, you're telling me this is not adding impact into what we're seeing today. It's there in front of your eyes. I'm not making this up. The naked communists gain control of all student newspapers, use student riots to foment public protests against programs or organizations that are under communist attack. I might go sleep after this one. We see this with the Free Palestine. Then we see this with BLM. Then we see this. Like, and so because look, because they've already infiltrated the school, they now control the school, the textbooks, your kids. This is why I tell all my friends that I've got kids, read the curriculum, look at what your children are learning. Because if you don't, they're not your kids no more. This is how they come home. They call you by your first name with chest and sternum. I remember coming to this um kind of realization when I was younger. I was like, why is it in school I was taught to believe everything the teachers told me, but question everything my parents taught me? 'Cause I can tell you what my mom was teaching me: discipline, accountability, responsibility, Christ, as in my religion, morality, which was given through my religion. This is what my parents were teaching me. My mom and dad were teaching me responsibility. We ain't got it. If you want it, you're gonna have to go work for it. Not you're gonna have to go rob from someone. Not you're gonna have to go rely on the government. This is what my parents were teaching me. But in school, I was i- indirectly being taught question your parents, but believe everything we tell you. But look, they got control. This is socialism they was teaching me indirectly. Praxis. It was socialism they was teaching me. Like, I wonder why when I left secondary school, college, I was leftist of the left, maybe more left on my left hand. Because this is where it was coming from. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, wake up. Like, this is where it was coming from. This has been the plan. This has been the plan. We all know someone that went to them BLM rights. Ask them what they think now. Infiltrate the press. Get control of book review assignments, editorial writings, policy making positions. Gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. Continue discrediting American culture by disregarding all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculptures from parks and buildings, substitute with shapeless and awkward, meaningless forms. Now look at this in the UK. What monument has just been put on the plinth in Trafalgar Square? This was written 60 years ago. This is what I'm trying to get you to see. Like, it's not, this was written 60 years ago. This was written 60 years ago. This was written. Let me do the math. Let me do the maths because 61 years ago is the maths. And this is like, I don't think you guys get it. Like, if you got it, you would tell me you get it. Like, this is where we are. I'm seeing this Trafalgar, go Trafalgar Square. You know the monument they just released, but they're telling you take down Churchill, take down whoever, take that true art. Do you get that from people that actually done things in life? If you're ever wondering why is it they do that, this is where we are. And even though this says just to show you how deep this goes, everything I've been reading says America. It says America, but this is applicable in the UK. Control art critics and directors of art museums. Our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsive, meaningless art. Have you guys seen that? Actually, this, man, I don't want to comment. This is, I don't even know why. Why did I pick up this topic? Because what type of art are we pushing right now? It's not like even down to the music. Just think about this. This was written 61 years ago. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and violation of free speech and free press. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity. Tell me we're not there. Or break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. This generate like this was the aim. So when you're thinking, why are we seeing every day someone lips and it's rainbow and it's this and it's that? That was the plan. This is the agenda to dismantle. Like when you're thinking, how did we lose our country? Why is the country going the way it's going? Why is the country going left? 26. Present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, healthy. This was in a communist meeting in America. They said present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity. Oh my days. What was I didn't even mispronounce that word. That was just something in my throat. No Diddy. Definitely not a Diddy. Talking about Diddy, he's in the hair. He's there. In here. In here. If you're looking for him, this is where you find him. And remember, this is intentional. Look at where the so if you're that way inclined in terms of if you're homosexual, whatever, this is where the communists see you, they view you. So you see when you think, oh yeah, no, they're fighting for our rights. Oh yeah, we got allies. Oh no, this is where they view you. They view you next to degeneracy, promiscuity, promiscuity. I knew this word, but this word is just escaped. Oh my days! Somebody clip that promiscuity. There we go. I had to, do you know this? I had to go back because I had to the British passport. Let me breathe it in because my accent's going. Bro. Let me get this passport out and just breathe it in because the accent's going. There we go, lads. We're back. You have to do that. So they don't tell you. They don't tell everyone. They don't tell everyone. You have to be special when you get your British passport. Like they tell you. You see, if you start to mispronounce the King's language, if you start to get the Just just a quick they put solvents in it. It brings the accent back. Now we're back, lads. But this is where they put you if you're homosexual. This is not me saying this. This is the communists present homosexuality, degeneracy, and this word here as normal, natural, and healthy. Now, there's no one that will tell you degeneracy is good. Good. I'm bailing out on this word. I'm never gonna lie to you. Promiscuity. Correct. I don't care. I don't even care. This is where so if you're homosexual, this is where they see you. Because you see what they do, what they're very good at doing is making it seem like they're your friend. They're very good at making it seem like you're on the same page. But this is how they view you. And you're promoting communist agendas, socialism. This is how the communists view you. They put you next to degeneracy and promiscuity because they say present. So it's not they're not saying bring it to light as in this is the truth, this is what's correct. They're saying present it this way. And this one here, I'm gonna have to do full screen for this one. Whereas, how do I get it back? There we go. No, I don't even want to be in a frame when I read this. I don't even want to get struck by lightning. Infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion. Discredit the Bible and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity, which does not need a religious crutch. Infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion. Discredit the Bible and emphasize the need for intellectual maturity, which does not need a religious crutch. Please tell me, have you not seen this? You see, some of you watching this now, you might be thinking, "Oh yeah, I know I was raised Christian. I don't really like believe in that no more." Da, 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 da. Some of you think it was your decision. It was not your decision because let's go back up here. What were they doing? Obviously, they've eliminated these laws. What were they doing? What were they doing? What were they doing? Gain control of key positions in TV, radio, motion pictures. Infiltrate the press and policy making decisions. Infiltrate the churches. So you might be thinking, oh yeah, I'm big boy, I can make my own decisions. This media has been pushing, you don't need God, you're smarter than that. Who's smarter than God? I met him. Eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in the schools on the ground that it violates the principles of separation of church and state. Excuse me. I had to rebuke that sentence. Luckily, when I was in school, we were allowed to pray. We used to sing hymns. Now they're not allowed to. You see the separation of church and state. Like even this law is misunderstood in America itself, let alone in the UK. People think separation of church and state is there's church over here and there's state over here. So anything to do with the state shouldn't do have religion in it. Don't bring religion into anything. Is how people understand it. But what it was actually intended and it meant, and shout out to Louder of Crowder that actually spoke to someone, I can't remember the person's name, who kind of broke this down, is separation of church and state is separation of the state from the church. It means the state cannot say to you, this is an Anglican state, Roman Catholics can't pray here. It's throat now. Excuse me, let me move that. You see this? I might stop at 30. I'm gonna stop at 30 because I'm gonna keep on coughing. Let me know. I'm gonna stop at 30. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to go to 45? Do you want me to go to 45? Hey, pray for me. Where was we? If you've got headphones, then I'm very sorry. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it inadequate, old fashioned, out of step with modern needs, hindrance to cooperation between the nations on a worldwide basis. Back to that one world government. back to that one world government. What are they doing to us? I had to call. This is real life. I ain't gonna stop. I'm still gonna continue talking because I'm not as well faint on camera. Funny that I wasn't even coughing that bad, but as soon as we stop talking about this, God protects me. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it adequate, old-fashioned, out of step with modern needs, hindrance to cooperation between the nations on a worldwide basis. Credit the American founding fathers, present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concerns for the common man. Let me not even go past that because I said I'm stopping at 30. Now, if we look at that, even the UK, what is the what do the love say? UK's got no culture. UK's got no culture. The way things used to be done. Like even I'm tired of hearing this whole that people act like slavery started with white people. But they're not joking about. This was 61 years ago. You can't say I'm not committed to the cause. Do you know how hard I'm working to holding that monster cough? Wait, let me just. That is, you see when you try to talk against the devil, he tries to take your voice, but God help me, God protect me. Let me even stop sharing that because that was we've got to 30. That was like 57 minutes we're on. That's just the 30. There's 45. Now, this book, I highly recommend it. Let me get it up because I like it when people, because do you know what's funny? Yeah, I've wanted to, I've wanted for a while, for a long, long while, to actually do a review of this book and almost talk through it, sort of thing. But I've just not been able to. Well, not been able to. The setup wasn't correct. Oh, excuse me. Why is it taking me to Yahoo? Who uses that? Yeah, they're trying to set me up. I was thinking, why does that look a bit funny? Oh, yeah, cool. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Here's the book. Here is the book. Let's go to images. This book here. This is what we've just been talking about. Obviously, I'm not buy it from wherever you buy your books. Decline that. Buy it from wherever you buy your books. But this is the book that we're talking about here. Here. Audiobook, however you want to listen to it. I don't know who this is, but shout out. You've made it now. You've made it. But the reason I even done that breakdown, because I'm thinking that how have they lost our country? It's not an accident, nor is it a coincidence. This was the plan. The plan. This was the plan for us to get. This was the plan for us to get here, and that was 30. I've never got down to 45. Now leave a comment if you want me to go down to 45. If you've had enough, just say I've had enough. Just say I've had enough. Now the question is, how do we get our country back? Is it just as simple as a reversal of what they're trying to do, or is it going to be a little bit more complicated than that now? That is the question. Like I know it might have not been the most fun, but I think I needed to do that. Like, we needed to go through that because people are not actually like realizing. They're not actually realizing that this is what we're going through right now, and it's not an accident. And it's not an accident. This is actually planned. Now, when you're thinking about who to vote for next time, just think who's more likely to be on the communist side? Who's more? Maybe there's a communist watching this and they're loving the fact that I'm giving it some light. I'm never editing none of them costs because it's reality. It's reality. But that's yeah. Like, do you know this? There's some other things I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna have to talk about. I've been talking for an hour. I'm gonna have to talk about them on another day. But let me know your thoughts to this, though. Let me know your thoughts to this. Like, are you seeing our country go downhill? What are you noticing? What are you seeing? What do you think the solution is? Because this is the Faceless podcast. This is where your thoughts are meant to come. How do we change this? Like, how do we make this better? I've got some ideas. If you want to hear those ideas, let me know. I'm not claiming to be some um inspiration. I'm not claiming to be that. But I just want you to know that there was a plan. There was a plan. This book was written. This book was originally written. It was re-released. They re-released it, but it was originally so the Sun re-released it. So W. Skousen was the original geezer, and then the Sun re-released it. When was it initially written? 1958. It was originally published. But look at the similarities. Like, would you have thought I'm talking about 1958 or I'm talking about today? That's something for you to think about. That's something for you to think about. These are some of the things that in my head I'm thinking. Let's think about that when we're going through all of that. Now, I do a lot of talking. Hey, someone's due to go. Put the mute on. Put your mic on mute. Yo, it's not easy. That was actually disgusting. Anyway, on a sidetrack, shout out to my sister. She went. Can you even see that? She went to Romania. Got me. You see what? Look at what I can do now. It's safe, but I don't even use it because I don't even want it to get dirty. Shout out to my sister for that one. But yeah. Anyway, guys, let me. Where am I going? Where am I going with this? Look, I want to build my like I want to build Rumble up. So follow me on Rumble. Follow me on Facebook. I'm trying to put all my social medias up so that you can have a little bit of a look at them. Since we've now mastered this sharing screens thing. We've mastered it. So I'm gonna get that up. Wait, let me get that up. You see from that, if you tune up from that, I've said all the important stuff. So it's all right. This is just me trying to do a little bit of man, why is me? Who done this? Who Yahoo? my default browser. Whoever done that, you're a communist. Because who does that? Right, let's find that. Because I want to share it all. I want people to see. Um, where are we going? The Faceless podcast. I've got another idea, so I'm gonna share it now. But I've already spoke to the to what I need to. There's a few things that I need to do. There's a few things that I need to do. There's a few things that I need to do. I've got a few ideas that are in the cut. There's a few ideas that are in the cut that I need to get out. And I've been speaking to some people. We're talking merchandise. We're talking. Man, why did you do this the long way? Sorry, guys. You see, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or on any of them podcasts there, go watch this on YouTube. Actually, leave me a review, please. But you could have stopped tuning in from about 10 minutes ago. I'll be very, very honest. When I watch the analytics, yeah, they're gonna from about 10 minutes ago, they're gonna start dropping. Now I'm just unwinding because that was very intense. Right, let's go to the Faceless podcast on YouTube so that you lot can see it. Because let's see. Because me, like this is like you lot are the family. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you lot are the family. I can't even spell. I'm hungry. You know, I've not eaten the whole day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Working hard for the people. Then. Um, alright, let's go to the channel. There we go. There we go. There we go. What's the other? What's the other one? Alright, cool. We're gonna bring up the Facebook. Let's get that there. You see how my brain works? We're gonna bring up the X. Shout out to Elon Musk, you know. I think what he done the other day on with Trump was really good. To be fair to him, um, mate, follow me on LinkedIn if you want to follow me on LinkedIn. I'm just unwinding now. This is me unwinding. You see, if it was live, this is when we would have been doing super chats. Would have been reading the comments. Would have been yeah. Like, do you know what I might do actually? Who commented on my last video? 30 views. Man, I'll take that. I'll take. We appreciate the conversation. That's well follow. Why is it playing? No one asked it to play. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes as well. I don't really care about the views, to be fair. I just enjoy just having someone to talk to, you know, like that. But yeah, anyway, that's enough of me talking rubbish. I don't even know why I'm still here, to be fair. I've said what I need to say. I got to 30. Let me know if you want me to get to let me know if you want me to get to 45. Now, let's do this. Here's the rumble. Follow me on the rumble. Let's go. Follow me on the rumble. There it is. You've seen it with your own eyes. I'm trying to build that because you see right now it's looking a bit yeah, it's looking a bit lonely. We need to build that. So follow me on the rumble. All the links are below. You know that I always put that there. All the links are below. Now, where's the next one? Obviously, you guys have been here. You guys have been here. Follow me on YouTube. Are you subscribed though? That's the question. Are you subscribed? Because if you're not subscribed, I was gonna try rhyme, but it's late. I'm tired. I'm never gonna rhyme for no one. If you want me to start, if you want me to release a 16, drop it in the comments. Just know that's where it's staying. But if you want me to release a 16, let me know. Where's the next one? You see TikTok here. So I'm not really big on the TikTok, but I'm there though. That is the TikTok. You see, there's a few videos there. But this is the Faces podcast one. There is another. This is my actual TikTok. You see a few. You know, we've been talking to the people. We've been talking to the people. A few views, a few views. So follow both of them. We're trying to get that up. What's the last one? The Facebook. I don't even know if people still use Facebook anymore. But let's get the Facebook up there so that people know we're there and what to look for. Can you notice? We're there. We're there. Shout out to the 141 likes, 145 followers. We love you. I'm just talking nonsense. If you're on audio, if you're still listening, God bless you, because there's no need for you to still be listening. I've already talked about the important stuff. This is me just enjoying now. We're just enjoying. What's the last one? Twitter. Let's go. X, sorry, Elon. Let's go there. Now, this one is shambolic. But yo, that's where you find me. If you want to find me, that's where you find me. That's where you find me. So we're there. I think is that all the promos done. That is the most in bits version of them promos I've ever done in my life, or I've ever seen being done by anyone. To be fair, so that's that done. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. I'm so disgusted by myself. Thank you for tuning into the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Call me whatever you want. As long as I get over this cough, we'll get along.